Hello students, this is your English lesson. In this lesson we are going to read unit number 9 Karate Parrot from Oxford Modern English 5. Let's get started. First of all, words to know. Attentively, carefully and with concentration. Automatically, operated by a machine without human help. Crockery, plates, cups, saucers. Crutch, a staff with a hand grip and a rest for the forearm or armpit, used to help somebody who is lame or injured to walk. Demonstrate, to explain or describe how something works or how to do something. Espresso, dark, strong tasting coffee made by passing steam or water through coffee granules. Heaved, lifted, hauled, incredible, unbelievable, hard to believe. Karate, a Japanese form of unarmed combat. Plaster, a white powder, calcium sulfate mixed with water to form a hard paste used for casts around broken limbs. Unique, only one of its kind, individual, vile, evil, shameful, unpleasant. Now come to the reading. Samir shuffled across the pavement on his crutches and approached Moby's cafe on Regent Street. The doors swung open automatically as he reached the entrance, and Samir made his way slowly into the large room. Adil and Babar were sitting in their usual seats by the window overlooking the street. They had seen Samir make his way unsteadily across the pavement. Unsteadily, not moving or not standing. So they rose to welcome him when he entered the cafe. Goodness me! Exclaimed Babar as Samir approached their table. What on earth have you been up to? Samir heaved himself up to an empty chair and let the crutches fall to the floor. You will never believe what happened to me, sighed Samir as he sank with relief into the chair. It's a long story, so you had better order me an espresso first. We were wondering where you had got to, said Babar. We thought you had found some other cafe to go to, added Adil. A waiter was summoned and Samir's coffee was ordered. Well, tell us then, exclaimed Babar. Yes, what is the incredible story you have to tell us? Asked Adil. You won't believe it, said Samir, but it is all perfectly true. The waiter arrived with a steaming cup of espresso and placed it on the table in front of Samir. He looked curiously at Samir's foot, which was in a plaster. When the waiter had gone, Samir helped himself to sugar and stirred the coffee. He gazed out of the window at the people passing by outside. Come on, urged Adil. What happened? Samir took a sip of coffee, wiped his mouth and smiled. Well, he began, on Wednesday I was fine, but on Thursday I ended up with this broken foot. Samir stuck out his foot for his friends to get a good look. It all started when my wife decided to get a pet, continued Samir, and then he settled comfortably into his chair to tell them his story. Samir's story. As you know, Sarah has always wanted a pet. She has begged me for months to get a dog or a cat to keep her company, but the problem is we live in a flat. I have always felt it is not fair on a dog or a cat to be imprisoned in a flat on the 6th floor of an apartment building. Dogs need open spaces and cats need to come and go as they please. A flat is certainly not a suitable place for them, in my opinion. Well, Sarah agreed with me in the end, but last week she went along to the pet shop on the corner of GT Road and Flowers Street. You know the place beside the milk depot? She decided that if she could not have a dog or a cat, she was going to see what else they had in the shop. She felt she had to have some sort of pet around. She feels a little lonely, especially when I am in here most of the time with you too. On Thursday, I went into the city to the bank. I had some business there, so I decided to finish my errands at the bank. Errands? Tasks, do some shopping. I needed cells for my radio and one or two other things, and then get home by the evening. Sarah, on the other hand, did not tell me what her plans were. I found out later that she ended up in the strange little pet shop. She walked into the shop. It was the first time she had been there, and met a pleasant shop assistant. Sarah explained her problem to the young man. He listened attentively and suggested she might like to buy a pet. Parrot? Said Sarah in astonishment. What comfort can I get from a parrot? I cannot stroke it or play with it. I cannot cuddle it. Cuddle, to hold close in affection. The young man spoke up immediately. Madam, I am not talking about any kind of ordinary parrot, he explained. The parrot I have in mind will give you hours of amusement. The parrot I have for sale is unique. It is the only karate parrot in the country. My wife was very amused, but she was curious as well. She had never ever heard of a karate parrot. Not mine, many people have. What does it do? She asked. Karate? Explained the assistant. He was obviously not a man of many words. Anyway, the assistant said he would demonstrate what the parrot could do. He placed an old chair in a space in the middle of the shop. Then he brought the caged parrot to my wife and placed the cage on the service counter. He opened the door of the cage and the parrot ambled out. Ambled, walk or move at a slow pace. The man stretched out his arm and the parrot climbed onto his sleeve. He then said in a loud voice, Parrot, karate, chair. The parrot immediately flew into the air and began to attack the chair. It squawked of a bird, make a loud harsh noise, and fluttered up and down, flapping its wings with great vigor, effort. In a matter of seconds, the chair had been reduced to a pile of shattered pieces of wood. Its work done, the parrot flew back across the shop and swooped, especially of a bird, moved rapidly. The assistant's shoulder. He stood there looking very pleased with himself. My wife, on the other hand, stood with her mouth open. She was lost for words. Never in all her years had she seen such a sight. Done, she exclaimed. She paid the man and took the bird home. Needless, unnecessary. Needless to say, she was quite excited by her new purchase. As soon as she got home, she searched through all the cupboards in the house and took from them old boxes, crockery, and any other useless but stored items she could find. She spent an hour or so allowing the parrot to practice his skills. The pair of them had a smashing time. She would shout, Parrot, karate, large box, and the parrot would swoop down and destroy the box with a few hefty blows. Hefty, large, and heavy. Then she would order it to destroy something else. The parrot, according to her, did not tire of this activity. And that, my friends, Smee said, finishing off his espresso is how I came to break my foot. What do you mean? Asked Babar. Yes, what do you mean? Echoed Adil. The pair of them had not uttered a word throughout the story. They had found it all too incredible. You have not explained exactly how you broke your foot, suggested Babar. Oh, said Sameer, you see, I returned home at 7 o'clock to find my wife and the parrot in the sitting room. The parrot was walking along the back of the sofa, carelessly pulling at some loose threads. This was a little annoying when I inquired about the creature. She told me she had bought it at the pet shop. I was staggered, amazed, and even more annoyed when she told me how much it cost. It's not an ordinary parrot, dear, she explained sweetly, and then proudly declared it's a Karate Parrot and it's the only one of its kind in the country. Karate Parrot? I cried in disgust and disbelief. Parrot, karate, my foot! And that, gentleman, was the last thing I said before that wild bird attacked my foot. Now come to the exercises. A. Comprehension. 1. Answer the following questions. A. How do we know that the three friends often met at the cafe? Answer. We know that the three friends often met at the cafe through the statements like Adil and Babar were sitting in their usual seats by the window. Sameer says, especially when I am in here most of the time with you too. B. Who showed an interest in Sameer's foot? Answer. Babar asks him what he has been up to. The waiter looks curiously at his foot. C. What was the main reason Sarah wanted to keep a pet? Answer. Sarah wanted a pet to keep her company because she was lonely. D. Where did Sarah go to purchase a pet? Answer. Sarah went to the pet shop on the corner of GT Road and Flowers Street beside the milk depot to purchase a parrot. E. How did the assistant demonstrate the parrot's skill? Answer. The assistant demonstrated the parrot's skill by placing an old chair in the middle of the shop, letting the parrot out of its cage and saying in a loud voice, Parrot, karate, chair. F. How did Sarah test the parrot's ability? Answer. Sarah tested the parrot's ability by allowing the parrot to practice its skills on her old boxes, crockery, and other useless items. G. Why did Babar and Adil remain silent throughout the story? Answer. Babar and Adil remained silent throughout the story because they found it all too incredible. H. How did the parrot come to attack Smear? Answer. When Smear returned home, he asked his wife about the parrot. When he heard it was a karate parrot, he expressed his disbelief by saying, Parrot, karate, my foot. The parrot immediately attacked his foot. This question is more difficult. Discuss it first. I. What was Sameer's view about keeping pets? Do you agree with this view? Answer. Smear's wife had to beg him to allow her to keep a dog or a cat as a pet, and Smear did not get her one. This shows he was not too keen on keeping a pet. He thought a flat was too small for a pet, and it would be unfair to keep one there. 2. Explain the following in your own words. A. I was staggered. I was amazed. B. Proudly declared. Boosted. C. Karate parrot. A parrot that can do karate. D. Too incredible. Most amazing. E. Lost for words. Unable to speak from surprise. F. Service counter. An act of help or assistance. 3. Answer the following questions with reference to context. A. I found out later that she ended up in the strange little pet shop. 1. Who made this statement and to whom? Answer. Sameer made the statement to Adil and Babar. 2. In the story being told by the speaker, what had she been doing earlier? Answer. Sameer had been into the city, had visited the bank and done some shopping. 3. Why did she go to a pet shop? Answer. Sarah went into the pet shop to get a pet cat or dog because she was lonely at home. B. He stood there looking very pleased with himself. 1. Who was standing looking pleased with himself? Answer. The parrot. 2. Why was he looking so pleased? Answer. He had just smashed a chair to pieces. 3. What reaction did other people have to the event that had just taken place? Answer. Sarah is astonished and pleased. She buys the parrot. B. Working with words. 1. Can you complete the following proverbs? A. Do not cross your bridge before you come. B. Half a loaf is better than no bread. C. Barking dogs seldom bite. D. The early bird catches the worm. E. A stitch in time saves 9. F. Better late than never. G. Too many cooks spoil the broth. H. Once bitten, twice shy. 2. Write the opposites of these words. A. Often, seldom. B. Noisy, quiet. C. Enemy, friend. D. Narrow, wide. E. Remember, forget. F. Float, sink. G. Loose, tight. H. Many, few. I. Busy, idle. J. Tough, weak. K. Last, first. L. Dead, alive. 4. Match the columns to complete the proverbs. A. All that glitters is not gold. B. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. C. Help a lame dog over a stile. D. Many hands make light work. E. It never rains, but it pours. F. Everything comes to him who waits. G. Beggars cannot be choosers. Say whether the following verbs in italics do the work of a noun or an adjective. A. Jogging is a pastime many people take part in. Noun. B. The crying baby was given some milk. Adjective. C. They love singing. Noun. D. Her acting is not very professional. Noun. E. The acting manager did not know what to do. Adjective. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.